You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
All the time.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control.
Right now, we're inside a computer program?
Is it really so hard to believe? You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I'm so high, no Visine. I don't reply by, please stop typing. I'm not in the mood, don't try me. Do I look pissed off, bitch? Cause I might be. Don't freak with me and my frequency. No decency. I got too many girls trying to freak my meat to be pressed over little Miss Minnie. Bitch, pay me my damn respect. Let 'em sweat, let 'em sweat, let 'em sweat. Call Taylor, I'ma need all hands on deck. Let 'em sweat, let 'em sweat, let 'em sweat. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Come say something. Come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something.
Bitch, I ain't in the mood, don't say nothing. Mike's out in this motherfucker, say something. Got dirty with the nookie in the car wash. Accidentally pressing on the slay button. Freddie D clean him up like a Kotex. Never leave a drop of blood on a Rolex. Left him dead on the floor, that's the indicator. Who the suspect? It's the Warnator. Some of y'all been burying them headlines. Come and say something, bitch. I done said mine. Cause the bitch gon' get what they gonna get. Let them sweat, let them sweat, let them sweat.
Come say something, say something. Not in the mood, come say something, say something. Not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Come say something. Motherfucker, come say something. Not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Welcome to your field. Everybody come on, everybody come. Life is so beautiful. Now that I don't see you, I dare you to run your mouth. I dare you to run your mouth. I dare you to run your mouth. Bitch, I dare you to run your mouth. Come say something. Come say something. Come say something. Come say something. Bitch, come say something. Come say something. Come say something. Come say something. Come say something.
Fuck you, Candice!
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Sky here from Oak Society. It's episode number 1163. It is August 18th, 2026. Let's welcome in all of our friends over on Rumble, over on Kick, over on X, over on YouTube, and of course, my favorite platform, built by Patriots for Patriots. Let's see all the eyes down the chats over on Pilled.net. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Feeling extra spicy today. Wanted to open off this week with a nice banger there from MAGA Devil Dog. Welcome in, guys. Thank you all for being here. Sorry about Saturday, guys. Luna had a fall, broke her collarbone, and she's recovering. Had to take care of her and all that good stuff. And here we are now, guys, on a Taco Tuesday. Hope you guys are ready for it because we going in the women. We going in on the women today, guys. I'm sorry. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. There is so much shit going down on this war against women, and we need to completely eradicate a certain section of women out of this country entirely, if not take away their right to vote. We're going to be, what does all this have to do? Well, I'm sure you guys have heard by now, this Lindsay Clancy case that's gone down and the insanity, the absolute insanity around it. Before we get into all that, though, we're going to do some news about Eric Swalwell, Trump and Iran, Little Rocket Man, and Hasan Piker. So let's say hello to everybody. We got HL Paco, It Wasn't Me, Dougie out there, Incorruptible Guardian, Martin, Donnie, Halo Moon Crushing. Thank you guys so much for getting us the gold pill started. Red Billy, Dean is me, OH Patriot, Krista Crusader, Cap 1Q in the house. What's up, my friends? We got PJ Carr, Halo Moon, I got you, my friend. We got G Watts, Fiona Shrek, welcome in. Tennessee Girl crushing as always. Who else we got? Ohio Kimmy, welcome in, friends. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep it rocking. I think we do get mostly. We got Cora over there. Same people. 202 and on. Hi, Rel. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. I saw Cyber out there. Jack, guys, I'm sorry that the stream is labeled as 5:30 a.m. So it set my stream all the way to the fucking bottom. Apologies, guys. Jack Attack, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you guys. Dewan out there, thank you so much. Krista loves David. Fat Ninja, welcome in, guys. Bang, bang, finger bang. Yes, support all liberal women. Yes, I agree, my friend. Thank you all so much for being here. Lulu out there, great to see ya. Over here in the Sad Rumble chat, it's G Watts, Little Cat holding down, and Fighting Irish on the Sad Rumble chat. And of course, we got Ashley over there on YouTube. Chess Teacher, welcome in. Ben Fairchild, right there. Little Cat holding it down. There you go. There you go. So yeah, guys, Saturday was a little unexpected. My Luna, she is the wild child in the family. Absolute wild. She still sleeps in the bed. I've been trying to get her to sleep in her own bed. That's on the it's a smaller bed on the floor. And she's just having problems with her. She just doesn't want to. And what the thing is, when she sleeps, she literally gets up and like in these sleepy stupors that she gets into, and she'll just move around the bed, and she'll do like this thing where she sits up and looks at you, then completely just falls backwards, and she lands wherever she lands, and then she sleeps. She's been doing this ever since she's basically, ever since she could basically start crawling, essentially. She's fallen off the bed once or twice, nothing crazy. We always keep her in the middle of the bed as much as possible, but this time she somehow got to the edge, and she did her little backwards fall, and the fall was so loud it woke me up, and didn't realize at the moment that she had broken her collarbone. She was just extra clingy. She kept saying her shoulder hurt, and so I was doing like a high five test with her. I was like, okay, maybe like, can you high five with this one, and like put your arm all the way up and give me a high five? So she did it on one side, and then I did it on her. It was the left. She went and put her left arm up, and she could barely get her arm up, and she could only push forward, but she couldn't push up. And I was like, okay. I thought her shoulder was dislocated at first, but she could still move her arm. So I was like, it's got to be collarbone. So she went in urgent care. She got the x-rays, and the doc did confirm it was a clean break right down the middle. Of all the things that happened to this child, guys, in the almost 3 years that she's been alive, she has already gotten, she's probably already gone through her 9 lives already. And I am so happy that at least that she had a clean break, because if she didn't have a clean break, it would have been even worse. But she had a clean break, so there's nothing doctors can do besides get her a sling, and she gets checked in the next 2 weeks. So, fam, so that happened Saturday. There's no way I was able to do a show that day. So, she's doing good. Trust me, guys. She's doing just fine. She's in good spirits. She walks around like nothing's going on. In the first day or two, she could barely really walk without it hurting. But this is apparently the most common bone break of her age group. So she'll be fine, and we'll carry on. But thank you guys for the prayers, all the wonderful comments you guys gave me. And for her, she's doing great. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. All right, guys, thank you all so much. We got gold pills flowing through. We got Drunk Pinata rating the channel. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. You guys rock. Thank you for all of that love, guys. We have a news blitz to get into. Like I said, we're going to briefly touch on Eric Swalwell and Bang Bang Finger Bang. Miss Fang Bang there. And we're going to briefly touch on what's going on in Iran real quick, guys. And then I'm going to prove my last and final point about Hasan Piker and Candice Owens, and really show you guys exactly who this is benefiting. And then we're going to get into the absolute fucking insanity, guys, because I think we're moving into a post-truth world, and this is very dangerous. And I thought for sure that after COVID, we were going to probably get back to reality. But there are entire segments of the population, and guys, and it is some men too, but guys, it is the women by far that are, I have never seen the psychosis. And this is almost trumping Candice Owens and their cult. And it's morphing and turning into things that these people just, there is no reality for them. No facts can disprove. There's just nothing you can do for these people when the facts are so obviously clear about what's happening with Lindsay Clancy, what's happened with Tyler Robinson, and they're losing their minds. And all I'm going to say to anyone that's single out there, any of the single dudes, I'm telling you right now, from my own personal experience as well, please run away from crazy. Run away from it. Even a little hint of crazy. Get the fuck away from it. If they're liberal and crazy, for anyone out there, for all the guys that are out there saying, yeah, I can fix her, I can fix them. No, you can't. Stay the fuck away from them. If you want to have families, you need to go in and you need to go and find yourself, go to church, find yourself a nice Christian conservative woman, and just lock her up, and she's all yours. Marry her, have kids, and keep her out of the workforce, keep her in the home, make her a homemaker if it's possible, homeschool your kids, and do what you can, and find a woman that is completely detached from this insanity, guys. I don't think I've ever seen this type of psychosis that we're going to get into. And I thought Candice Owens, I thought their cult was bad. What we're seeing, they have now translated this Lindsay Clancy case. And if I was going to touch on this last week, and I'm really glad I didn't, because now these psychopaths are out in full force, and I feel bad. I feel bad for men. I feel really bad for men, and I feel bad for conservative men, and not just conservative men, but normal men that have ambition, that have jobs, that have good income, they got everything going for them. And every time that I turn and talk to a single friend of mine, you know what they tell me? The fucking women are insane. They're insane. So we're going to get into all that today, guys. The hot, crazy Matrix. Yeah, it's really applying now. The Matrix is completely broken on this. But either way, guys, we have a lot to get into. 5,200 gold pills and counting, guys. Thank you all so much. 20K is the daily goal. I really appreciate that, guys. Red pill smash, gold pills flowing, stickers flying. Please give my mods all kinds of love. We got a news blitz to do, so let's not waste another minute. News blitz time. All right, no big deal. We just got a senior CCP intelligence official who's also a trained sniper, buys historic building just 650 feet away from the White House. Historic 9-story building overlooked the White House complex has been purchased by a foundation controlled by a man who reported ties to multiple Chinese Communist Party security influence organizations. Century-old securities building on 15th Street in D.C., approximately 650 feet northeast of the White House grounds, was purchased on July 21st, 2026 for $8.4 million by Philip Q, and Family Foundation. According to property filings, the foundation's namesake, Philip Q, also identified in Chinese records as Q Falai, has reportedly held positions connected to China's public security system in the Chinese Communist Party front apparatus. And now his foundation owns a building within sight of the America's Executive Complex. And according to the Daily Caller, investigation and translation of Chinese government and university records, Q began his career as a detective, and now, unfortunately, guys, well, he's also a really well-trained sniper. Over here, fam, from Disclose.tv, Bill Rasmussen, founder of ESPN, dies at 93. Few believed the round-the-clock cable sports channel could work. Rasmussen, just fired as communications director of the New England Whalers, maxed out his credit card and used $9,000 advance to secure satellite space, then pitched leagues, cable operators, and investors. Door to door, he and son Scott co-founded the network, which launched September 7, 1979, with Rasmussen as first president and CEO. And I hope he didn't die sad, because what ESPN has turned out to be is complete DEI woke trash. Over here, guys, from the Red State, 14 arrested in Penn State University fraternities drug trafficking initiation ritual. This whole story is insane, guys. Coming out of Pennsylvania, Attorney General Dave Sunday charged 14 individuals, 13 Pennsylvania State University students, and one, the father of a student, with charges related to a cocaine trafficking ring at 2 fraternity houses. Forget Animal House and Legally Blind. Greek life has taken a turn from humor into the nefarious. This guy was selling all kinds of cocaine. Apparently, guys, the only way to get into the frat, well, you got to do cocaine and also sell it. And while offering a good college community experience and lifelong bonds can be problematic, from the secrecy of their initiation rituals and pledges, the exclusionary nature, and the clannish mentality, coupled with the lack of accountability for being outside direct campus oversight, is a breeding ground for legal activity like this alleged Penn State fraternity drug trafficking ring to fester and thrive. Guys, keep your kids out of college. It's a cesspool. And over here, guys, from the post-millennial Minnesota, doing Minnesota things as they're now rewarding a Somali Medicaid fraudster linked to sex trafficking operation with Outstanding Refugee Award. Again, guys, we got Tim Walz giving pedophiles all kinds of clemency, all kinds of pardons. Now Minnesota's rewarding a Somali Medicaid fraudster linked to sex trafficking, an award called the Outstanding Refugee Award. How fantastic. This guy, Minnesota, has been hit with criminal charge in a case involving over $1.5 million in Medicaid fraud. Incredible. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison announced on Monday that Salman Ahmad Almai has been charged with 3 counts of aiding and abetting theft by swindling and 5 counts of aiding and abetting theft by false representation. Ellison's office said that between 2024 and 26, Elmi operated Reva Health, which claimed to provide adult rehabilitative and mental health services to Medicaid respondents, and also several co-conspirators of Elmi at Reva Health ran separate criminal enterprise with connections to Reva and faced charges filed by the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. And don't worry, guys, this is the exact perfect candidate that Tim Walz wants to give awards to. Over here, guys, from the post-millennial, Scott Bissent's trans would-be assassin was only sentenced to 6 years in prison. Damn. Ryan Riley, Michael English has been sentenced to 73 months in federal prison for charges stemming from a plot to assassinate Scott Bissent. English, who is transgender, of course he is, pleaded guilty in March to charges related to the attempted assassination of Bissent, who was then a cabinet nominee. Sentencing was originally scheduled for August 14th, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the District of Columbia, and the case dates back to January 27, 2025, when English approached a Capitol police officer near the South Door and said he wanted to turn himself in. Police found him carrying a folding knife, a lighter, and 2 Molotov cocktails made from small vodka bottles. And again, guys, these people are fucking psychos, and all they want to do is assassinate Trump's admin. Over here, guys, Moscow doing Moscow things, and they were swarmed by 600 plus Ukrainian drones, a massive overnight barrage. This war, guys, does not look like it's ending anytime soon. And these two countries, well, they're just going to keep killing each other. And from the Gateway Pundit, guys, out in Germany, they want to converge to change law that makes it a crime to insult politicians. Man, Hitler would have been really happy about that one. And of course, guys, from the New York Post, the super rich are building Swiss bunkers to stash their Ferraris, gold, and fine wine. Guys, we've covered stories like this throughout the years. Everyone thinks the world's going to end when the rich do this shit. I think they do this no matter what. A massive network of underground vaults is being carved into the Swiss Alps, offering the ultra-wealthy a heavily fortified place to stash everything from priceless art and gold to vintage Ferraris and expensive wine. Now, why would they be doing that at a time like this? And last but not least, guys, a huge court victory. Leftist Judge Brian Murphy concedes defeat, lifts the block on President Trump terminating temporary protected status for Ethiopian migrants. And now, guys, we have TPS completely eliminated for Ethiopia, Somalia, Haiti, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Cameroon, Nepal, Honduras, Nicaragua, Venezuela, South Sudan, and Burma. Time to get ice, guys, because it's time to send these fuckers home. And fam, that is today's News Blitz. Oh boy, not a good day for third world trash. Not at all. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate all the love, guys. Let's get these gold pills real quick. Thank you to Jack Attack for the cookie. Cyber, thank you for the 300 gold pills, my friend. Thank you. 029 with the shades. Donnie says still at work, but will listen in as I can. Hi, fam. Hope everyone feeling good about what's to happen. Absolutely, my friend. We got a lot of good stuff to cover today. Thank you, Donnie. Halo Moon throwing down a ship. Eric Supager, thank you for the shades. Carissa loves David throwing down cookies. Wisconsin says, quit being the child, Scott. Sending prayers. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Softenel the shades. Let's go. Izzy Q says, soft tissue takes 6 weeks to heal. Make sure she uses that arm once healed, as she may get used to holding it still and not use her mobility. High wattage red laser can heal bone quickly. Thank you, Izzy. Yeah, she is. She's moving around. She's moving her arm like horizontally. She's not doing the whole vertical thing. But she will get there. I mean, if you guys see Luna on a daily basis, she is a machine. She's got older brothers. There's not much that can take her down. And with her personality, if her personality were to change at all because of it, I would know immediately. And she's still my Luna Bear. She's just crazy, messy. She is just that child. She's the third one. And yeah, she'll be just fine. But yeah, 6 weeks is that's what the docs said too. So she goes in another week or so to get checked to make sure it's all looking good. But she's on the up and up. Condition basis, like I said, Saturday, Luna has bragging rights over her brothers. Team Luna, I don't worry about boys talking to Luna. I worry about girls trying to talk to her brothers. Dude, that is spot on for today's show. Cora Cousin, thank you for the cookie in Ohio. Kimmy, thank you for the cookie, guys. Appreciate that. Guys, we're at 5,500 gold pills and counting. 20K is that daily goal. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate everybody over on Rumble Kick X. Please, all I ask over there, if you want to donate, you can. The Cash App is available. If you guys want to donate over there, Rumble Rants, that's all fine. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Whatever you guys want to do, subs, it all helps the channel. I eventually will get it from those other platforms. So, guys, I want to share some of my nightmare fuel from living out here in the sticks out in northeastern Pennsylvania, the Poconos Mountains. I saw a giant bear. I think it was Monday. It was Sunday or Monday. The same. You know that guy's that I told you all, the bear that was in my driveway for like 3 hours. We had a show going on during all that. He's a big dude, like 500-600 pounds, scars all over him, walks super slow. He's just old. He's just old as fuck. And we saw him again. I was taking Liam and Odin out to go to the wood yard. Same bear across the and the neighbors, literally just sunbathing in his yard like it's fucking nothing. It's absolutely wild. And to share that nightmare fuel with you guys, I'm going to do this now. Enjoy this video, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Take a watch.
Okay. I need to call somebody.
Society's fam, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it dark to light, all the plans they conceal. Grab your flashlight, it's time to go down the rabbit hole. It's dark and hell is hot, dealing with satanic souls. The tide is turning, patriots are now in control. Apply aggressive pressure right now until they fold, stay woke. Open up your eyes and keep them peeled. All they do is lie, realize not everything is real. Through Project Looking Glass, the future is revealed. Future proves past, but there won't be any deals. No time like the present for this music with the messages. The method to my madness, beat the madness to my method. Give you nothing but the truth now to capture your attention. Broke free from the matrix, master the dimensions. People swear they know the truth, but aren't asking any questions. Confirmation bias, so they pass on interventions. For those who know the truth, but they pass it just to mention. If anything you might say, the passes their defenses. Wake up, and don't you dare go back to sleep. Always keep one eye open for demons on the creep. Once you turn into a wolf, you won't ever be a sheep. A worldwide awakening, so now run and tell your peace. Wolf Society's fam, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it dark to light, all the plans they conceal.
That is if you can provide yourself with food, and again, they're ice fishing because everything is frozen, and you're looking for fat in the beaver.
Yeah,
the beaver is the beaver is the most sought after.
It is.
Ryan, do you think you could eat beaver? It's fat and then it's meat.
It made them all sick, though. They all got sick after it.
Well, you can't eat diseased animals.
Oh, God.
What about a moose?
Yeah, I don't know anything about this show,
Okay.
Dina, but you're really funny.
Okay.
You are a really funny gal.
Would you like to fries for that?
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Scott here from Woke Societies. It's episode number 1163. It's August 18, 2026. Welcome to all of our friends over on Rumble, Kick, X, YouTube, and of course, my favorite fam over on Pilled.net. Be careful of that beaver, boys. You gotta shave it before you eat it. That's right. That's right. That's right. Never eat that beaver, guys? You don't have to comment that in the chat. That is not going to be a poll. That will not be a poll in my chat. Get that shit out of here. My goodness. It's Taco Tuesday, not Beaver Tuesday. My goodness, you sick fucks. Get your heads out of the gutter. Dear God. No, I don't want fries with a beaver. Don't want it. Thank you. Someone gifted me a sub to my own channel. Thank you, Samoa. Okay. Drunk Pinata got a sub. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Some of the joke went over some people's heads, which is fine. Dear God, man. No, it's nothing. There's literally, I don't know if they watch the channel anymore. There is a screen name that says Nancy Salty Beaver. There you go. Beaver with tossed salad. There we go. Top 1Q gets it. Thank you, Cora Cousin, IO Kimmy. Thank you for the cookies. And Crystal Loves David. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, guys. Tacos apply here, too. Yes. Yes. Moist beaver is better than dry beaver. That's damn. You guys get it. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. We're going to jump right into all this, guys, because there was a Chinese beaver that Swalwell was getting himself all locked into. And this is the thing, like, I like these stories because they remind me of truly who the enemies of this country are. Outside the United States, it's definitely China. Russia's probably somewhere in the middle there. Iran, definitely. And any of all these countries know, like, the only way they can take us down is through infiltration. And that this is what they've been doing with our own people, with billionaires that live outside the country, giving funding to all kinds of protests, all kinds of NGOs, and all kinds of 501(c)(3)s to pretty much be the funding machine behind all of the desecration, all the destruction of the United States. And again, they can't do kinetic war with the United States because, again, it would be in the worst interest of their self-preservation, right? So I just wanted to touch on this story here real quick, guys, because if the rape allegations weren't bad enough for Eric Swalwell that were going to destroy not just his career, but his life, we get this little inkling, we get this little drop yesterday from John Solomon, basically showing that the FBI knew the entire time that Swalwell was indeed banging the spy. There was a trade-off for having her plants basically put into his office to spy, illegal donations going back and forth between these two. And basically, the FBI, the corrupt FBI at the time, was trying to just nail Bang Bang, Miss Fang Fang Bang Bang, and nothing happened to Swalwell. And this all happened again under the Biden admin. Swalwell actually confessed to a drug-fueled sex romp with suspected Chinese spy Fang Fang bombshell, files reveal. Swalwell confessed to a prescription drug-fueled sex romp with the suspected Chinese spy, according to newly released FBI files that confirmed for the first time the disgraced former congressman got physical at Beijing's purported honeypot. Former East Bay congressman had physical relations with Christine Fang, also known as Fang Fang Binger Bang, on at least 2 occasions, according to investigative files made public Monday by the White House Transparency Task Force. And on one occasion, Fang showed up at Swalwell's apartment late one night demanding to be let in, with the Democrat admitting that the two hooked up after he had taken what he said an Ambien. His explanation for barely remembering the tryst. I'm sure his wife knows about this now. And a former Swalwell campaign aide told FBI agents in May 1st, 2015 interview that Fang was a very flirtatious and boasted to Swalwell, quote, that she was not wearing any underwear. I guess that's all it took, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it took. My God. Showing up to his doorstep unannounced. Well, Swalwell, whose career and campaign for California governor imploded this past April after accusations of rape and sexual assault by multiple women, it was interviewed by the FBI's Oakland outpost in 2015 as Fang became the subject of a counterintelligence investigation over her relationships with Bay Area and national political figures. The now 45-year-old claimed to the FBI that both of his encounters with Fang, described as a, quote, striking individual in the documents. This fucking guy, man. Took place at his apartment probably before he was first elected to Congress in 2012. And one night, Fang came over late in the evening and started banging on Swalwell's door. The document says Swalwell let her in, and she and Swalwell hooked up. Fang left after a couple of hours. Well, damn. Swalwell barely remembers the event because he had taken an Ambien prior to Fang arriving, according to the document, helpfully clarifying that Swalwell takes Ambien to help him to sleep. According to interview notes, Swalwell, a member of the Dublin City Council before his election to Congress, told investigators he and Fang had casual relations and often communicated. Guys, do you remember when this was pushed and asked by just any kind of media, including alternative media, when this is all going down? And this motherfucker denied everything because, of course, they're going to. This is why I hate these people. They think this shit's never going to come up. It's never going to resurface. Like, you go and rape a bunch of women, and you don't think that shit's going to come up. And this is the thing. We're going to get into this really heavily today, guys, about, quote, believing all women and all the crazy shit that some of these women are. And again, some of these women, they cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted for damn sure. But apparently the Chinese beaver was too much for Swalwell to deny, and had I guess, an Ambien-fueled sex romp, and he banged Miss Fang Fang. Swalwell's links to Fang were first reported by Axios in December 2020 and led to then House Speaker Kevin McCarthy booting him from the House Intelligence Committee in 2023. This guy, the fact that this guy had access to classified briefings of any capacity, it is just so, or the system is just so broken. Fang, believed to be an operative for the CCP and the Ministries of State Security, helped organize fundraisers for Swalwell in Las Vegas and California. She also reportedly cultivated relationships with a network of rising politicians and other influencers, and Fang repeatedly encouraged Swalwell to visit China, even extending an invitation to Swalwell's father and his family following the congressman's 2014 re-election, according to newly declassified docs. When Swalwell's father later mentioned this to him, he thought it was odd. The father thought it was odd. Neither Swalwell's father nor his family traveled to China. Swalwell did not respond to the post request for comment on Monday, as they never do. And this is just more added fuel to this retard. And again, the infiltration of everything that happened and the infiltration of China. And guys, can you all fact check me on this? I am almost positive. At one point we covered a story that Miss Fingerbang here, was on a jet, I think, going back to China, and that jet crashed, and she died in that jet crash. I'm almost positive. Can someone please fact check that on me real quick? Because again, this is the latest example of, again, how much our politicians are completely infiltrated And it seems like the ones on the West Coast seem to be really, really infiltrated by the CCP more than anybody. And the fact is, like, his family, his own father thought it was weird. I don't know how your wife doesn't know that, shit's going down, with all this stuff going on. I mean, how does this happen, right? How does this happen? And the weird thing is, when we look into the documents, the FBI had a nickname for Fang Fang, and they called her Rusty Thumbs. I don't know what that's about, but you guys can speculate. Let it rip in the chat.
Fox News Alert, we got our hands on the Fang Fang files. For years, Swalwell's been accused of sleeping with the enemy, Chinese spy, and he denied every ounce of it.
Did you have any concerns about this person before you had what's known as a defensive briefing from the FBI to make you aware of this threat?
No, Jim, I was shocked when, just over 6 years ago, I was told about this individual, and then I offered to help. The story says that, there was never a suspicion of wrongdoing on my part.
Now he's eating his words. New bombshell documents, declassified by the White House, show the FBI interviewed Swalwell back in 2015. That was Obama's FBI. And he admitted to a physical relationship with the Fangster multiple times. They first met in the fall of 2012. He called her a striking individual, went out for a drink 2 weeks later before things turned physical. He said it was just casual. They never formally dated. But Eric said Fang wanted to do more than just hang. He told the FBI about a time that they hooked up before he was elected to Congress. Swalwell said she showed up late at night. Fang Fang banged on his door. He let her in. She left a few hours later. He said he'd taken an Ambien beforehand, so he couldn't remember much. Did he light any candles? Oh, Eric couldn't say. The spy's sex wasn't a secret. Swalwell's staff knew all about it. One aide told the FBI he heard Fang Fang would show up to Swalwell's door and make it clear she wasn't wearing any underwear. But it wasn't just sex. The FBI opened an investigation into possible illegal donations to his campaign. The name of the investigation? Freshman 15. Looking into whether illegal campaign donations.
These nicknames, though, damn.
Were being traded for internships and access to Swalwell. Fang Fang was in the country on a student visa. She couldn't legally donate to his campaign herself. So they investigated her for orchestrating a straw donor scheme. And their financial analysis flagged 4 successful cash movements within a year. The FBI also intercepted intelligence that Fang Fang was offering favors for donations.
Of course. Yeah. That's what they always do.
She reportedly guaranteed a private meeting with Swalwell for $5,000 and said she could land you an internship in his office for a steeper price. According to an FBI interview, she referred a student she called her sister. And that student was hired and worked on Swalwell's campaign for a year and a half.
My God,
knocking on doors and researching people Swalwell was about to meet. She had access to every single donor record. Now, in the documents, Swalwell says he had nothing to do with the hiring. All he did was forward Fang Fang's referrals. But the FBI always had its eye on the spot. A memo identified both of her parents as Chinese intelligence officers.
Parents were both CCP officials.
And in the summer of 2013, an undercover officer tried to flip her, recruit her as a double agent.
God, dude.
Fang Fang's official FBI nickname, Rusty Thumbs.
Oof.
She bragged that she used her sexuality to exploit politicians. She knew she was young and knew she was pretty and knew she could get away with it. But the FBI must have slipped up because Fang Fang smelled a rat and cut off all communication. She got spooked and fled to China, never came back. James Comey never pursued her. And the DOJ closed the investigation. Jack Smith decided not to prosecute her. And yeah, that's the same Jack Smith who tried to put Trump in prison.
This is exactly why, guys. Like, again, like, none of this is surprising. This is just standard operating procedure for these fucks. But again, the corruption, the infiltration, it's so gross to me. And to watch these people fucking fry now, it's just, again, like, the gall in these people, and again, this is why I hated Hillary Clinton so much and all the fucks surrounding Russiagate and Crossfire Hurricane. The language used, the straight up like, we are so confident we are untouchable, nothing can stop us, we're going to do everything we can to stop Trump. We'll destroy his family, we'll destroy his coworkers, we'll destroy his businesses, we'll destroy his followers, we'll throw them in prison for a bullshit January 6th, we'll literally deplatform them, take them out on social media, everything it takes, because we operate the levers of power, and that's all that matters. And again, this is why there's always that invisible hand, and that invisible hand being God, and the karma, and there's always that good force that's working behind the scenes, that things that come out of left field that you never expect end up being really good things, and these people get destroyed, absolutely fucking destroyed. Eric Swalwell, he's cooked. The rest of his life he'll be cooked. I don't know what he plans on doing. He might be in prison for all we know very soon, and rightfully so. And it's not even for the, he's going to maybe go down for the rape charges, right? Maybe that. But what about working with fucking China? Well, what about working and hiring this bitch here that has her parents are officials, two officials to the CCP? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? This is exactly why I keep telling you guys, like, at some point we're going to need a more extreme president and a more extreme DOJ than Trump and what we have right now. You can't just keep playing fucking pussyfoot with this type of stuff. And eventually it has to be eradicated, it has to be quick, it has to be fast. This cannot just keep dragging on as the status quo. And I do believe the status quo is shattered, thanks to Trump, thank God. But going back and just hearing about this stuff, hearing that again, that you had Comey knew about this. Jack Smith was on a warpath to get Trump. He knew about this shit. Nothing to do with it. Garland had nothing to do with it, because obviously what was Joe Biden doing? He's sleeping in fucking bed with China. Hunter Biden's in bed with China. His entire fucking family's in with China, right? China cannot do anything to us besides infiltrate and destroy us from the inside out. That's all they can do. And that's all they're ever going to do. And it was so bad that the NSA blocked reports of China interference in U.S. elections from reaching Trump. And we find out because the NSA didn't want to be, quote, considered the deep state.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert.
It's like, y'all don't need it. The thing is, like, when you go and block shit like this, when you go and be completely just traitorous like this, like, what do you think people are already calling you guys, right? What do you think? Anyone trust the intelligence agencies? Fuck no. Why would we? They were completely weaponized. It's going to take decades to get the trust of the American people back into these agencies. CIA, no one trusts here still. I know John Ratcliffe's there, but there's still rogue elements all over the place. FBI, I think Kash Patel has a complete hold on the FBI. And outside of that, like, I think the State Department's okay. But what else? You're still seeing fucking generals and high-powered people in the military getting fucking tossed. How much infiltration is there? It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And the only reason why this shit is getting turned around is because, well, Trump's in office. Trump's got loyalists. We're still seeing it now. This is way more high-powered than it was the first time around. Way more high-powered. And all the different chess pieces outside of China, they're realigning right now. They're completely realigning. I don't know if you guys are seeing what's going on with South Korea and what's going on with North Korea right now, but something big could be coming here, guys, and it could be earth-shattering. I don't know what North Korea is going to do. All I know is that Trump has been in talks with him. In South Korea, it looks like Trump, the way that Trump is playing this game right now is he's pulling everyone on our side of the globe, and he's leaving everyone else on the other side of the globe to kind of just, they're going to have to figure their shit out. The fact that we have reliance and all kinds of different military exercises with places like South Korea and Taiwan and these places, this leaves America vulnerable, in my opinion. I know we got assets there. I know we got trade there. I know we got the chips there. We're trying to bring all this shit back right now. Everything Trump is trying to do is bring all this shit back, because on everything that we buy in the fucking United States, everything we buy says made in China. And that shit has got to stop. It's got to fucking stop. And I don't know if you guys saw, Trump made an announcement, says what's going on in Gwangju, South Korea. Leftist stronghold honors communist composer who defected during war to North Korean hellhole. This has a long history of voting for far left-leaning politicians and is the main hub for far-left Democratic Party of Korea. For years, Gwangju has built an extensive public culture of commemoration around composer Jang Il-sung. Zhang joined the Chinese Communist Party. He composed the March of the 8th Route Army, which later became the official military anthem of China's People's Liberation Army. Zhang Il-sung also composed military music for North Korea and returned to North Korea during the Korean War with the Chinese People's Volunteers, the Chinese forces fighting South Korea, and the United Nations Command. Despite that history, his legacy in Gwangju has been honored for decades. His name was placed on a road. A bust was erected in his honor. A street expedition and memorial facilities were created. His birthplace was restored. And the thing is, all these things matter. All these things, apparently, with our own quote allies, you can see where the alliances are now being drawn. It seems like to me, South Korea could be going under as far as a leftist stronghold that's going to team up with China, no doubt about it. And Trump is noticing these things. And guess what? Trump and Kim have been somewhat kind of friendly and friends. We saw that happen the first time. And we're getting all kinds of notices here. Trump literally put this out. I think this was last night. He put a meme. He put a meme out there that said, it's Kim here on the phone with all of his generals. Say, hey, Donald, we cool, right? Very simple. Because I was wondering, guys, is Trump going to go visit the Rocket Man? Is he going to go visit the Rocket Man? Is this going to happen one more time? And Trump said it today.
Hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
Did you speak to him?
Trump said, because there was all kinds of reports saying that there was no talks. Kim shut Trump down. I'm like, no fucking, there's no fucking way Kim shut Trump down. No fucking way. Kim's been doing his own thing out in Rocket Man land, shooting his missiles, pretending to be a bad boy. He's got his nukes, so no one fucks with him. This is exactly what Trump's trying to take care of Iran and has been trying to take care of Iran for this entire time. But this is the thing. When you start aligning the memes and the happenings and these little tiny tidbits that you find in the alternative news, it starts to make more sense. Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the U.S. has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercise with South Korea. These exercises are not only costly, but much of these costs paid for by the United States of America, he says, as usual, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful. Therefore, and based on the fact that it is too late to cancel, I have instructed Secretary of War PX to substantially reduce the joint military exercises. While somewhat unrelated, I recently asked the president of South Korea if they would like to join us in the denuclearization of Iran, and they said no thanks. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And this is why I'm saying, guys, I know the stuff in Iran has been drawn out. I know. The thing is, the messaging is all but stopped with Iran as far as let's make a deal, let's not do a deal. They're begging. They're calling me every day begging and begging. It's like, that shit's just got to stop. It's just got to stop, right? And it has stopped for the most part. Trump is realigning the board and has been aligning the board. And guess what? This move that he's been taking on Iran has really shown who's really with America and given them a justification to treat them exactly how they treated us this entire time. Why do these exercises? Why have our military over there? Why have American bases in these countries? Why do we do it? Is it all just for projection of power? Is it all just because of old allies, status quo? The thing is, guys, and a lesson I've always taught myself and my kids, nothing ever stays the same forever. Nothing. You always got to think 10 steps ahead all the time. Is that a good way to live? I think it is, but can it make it paranoid? I think it can make you paranoid after a while. But this is what Trump's doing, and it's revealing this. All right, so as of right now, guys, South Korea, not good vibes. Not at all. And this is why I'm saying China is also there, just because they're getting absolutely lambasted economically, lambasted with trade right now, with everything going in Iran. They are on their weak point again. I don't know what their economy is looking like. It's probably shit. But it's not like they're just sitting around doing fucking nothing. They're doing everything they can to try to recoup what is going on with Iran right now. And guess what, guys? I'm just going to say this right now. All this shit with Iran is going to go past the midterms. I don't know how long it's going to last. This is just my guess at this point. Trump is in no rush with Iran right now because guess what? You don't think Trump knows that Iran is waiting to see how the midterms turn out to try to hold out to see if Trump wants to just, basically say, okay, this whole thing's over. We're going to pull out, make it look good to America. We're the winners, right? And things go well for the midterms, right? There's no guarantee on that. And Trump knows Iran's waiting for that shit too. So guess what's going to end up happening? We're going to go past the midterms. Nothing's going to change with Iran. The blockade's still going to be there. We're going to strangle them. Trump might even make the Strait of Hormuz a territory at this point. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, gas went down again. And I know it's not everywhere. Over here, we're at 389 now. 389. It's been long. It's been tedious, but it's down. We're at 389. I'm happy with it. I want it to go below $3. That'd be really great. Maybe it will. But the thing is, the chaos and the bombings and all this other shit, they have been really down. Really down. And as long as that's the case, the markets they're not overreacting, and all this price, and I'm sure the fucking oil companies are gouging us. There's no doubt. But everything seems to be somewhat calmly stable. And that's where this is going, right? And Trump said there are no talks or conversations going on or scheduled with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval blockade remains in full force and effect. The Hormuz Strait is open and operating. All water mines have been removed or detonated. Thank you for the attention to this matter. And guys, I've been saying this for a while. While maybe Iran was hoping and waiting that the midterms were going to come and go and that Trump would wrap up operations, I think he's going to keep it going for as long as it needs. And in the meantime, he's going to be arming those people up and doing everything they can to eradicate this cancer once and for all. He's all in now. He's not going to talk tail and let these people live. It's just, that's not what Trump does. This is not Venezuela. This is not just, okay, a win and victory for America. This is a strategy that's tying in all of our new best friends, all our new best friends out in the Arab nations. It's tying it all together. They all want this. I think as of right now, the UAE announced that they have cut off all trade and shipping with Iran 100% at this point. Trump is, again, realigning that entire region. And guess what? They're going to be building up pipelines. Saudi Arabia is going to be building up their own pipelines and redirecting and circumventing the Hormuz Strait. And if he makes Hormuz Strait completely irrelevant, the IRGC has literally fucking nothing but drones and little missiles and little Houthi terrorists shooting rocket launchers and getting completely destroyed by our military. And that's it. That's basically it. And what I want to tie this into, guys, because we haven't heard from them in a while, Promethean action here. This is one of the best ones that I've seen thus far, tying everything into Kissinger, 1976. What's going on with Chatham House, all this stuff, fam. We're going to get into this, and we're going to be bringing it back home for the in the homeland here, because what's happening to women and what's going on with the Candice Owens cult, it's leaking into this other psychosis here that is so prevalent, and it is destroying marriages, destroying relationships. And I got to say, it's not always just the guys, but the women, man, oh man, these liberal women, they're becoming a cancer. And I hate to say that, but it's just where it's going. But first, fam, let's get into this. And thank you guys for the 11,517 gold pills. We'll get into those after this is done. Let's dive into it.
Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent delivered a message to the government of Iran and to the world.
At the president's orders, we have raised the level even again, and watch this space for more announcements coming next week, because we are going to apply measures like have never been seen in the history of economic isolation on a country.
That is an execution of a policy that has been years in the making. And a week earlier, Bessent told you what it was.
The strait is never going back to the way it was, because the Iranians have used or tried to use it as a choke point. What we are going to see over the next 2 years, the strait's going to become irrelevant. It is going to become just another body of water.
This isn't just about Iran. It's about the end of a British choke point that's been used as a weapon in service of a policy which has kept the region in flames for decades. Now, if you're living in your social media feeds, you're probably getting whiplash. The straits are open, the straits are closed. America is winning, America is losing. That's not the story. It's a distraction from the real one. The real story is much bigger, and it didn't start 6 months ago. It started 50 years ago. And last month, a Lebanese diplomat blew the lid off that story. He named the names, and he did it at the empire's own Chatham House. I'm Susan Kokinda. I followed that story 50 years ago when few others did. So if you want to follow this, hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons so we can stay in touch and reach more people. Here's what I'm going to cover. First, what our Treasury and Energy Secretaries said about the end of that choke point. Second, the indictment delivered at Chatham House. And third, what President Trump is building to replace it. So start with Scott Bessent's comment again. The Strait will never go back to the way it was. Energy Secretary Chris Wright described how that is already happening. In an interview with Fox News, Wright addressed the panic mongering in the commentariat.
So you're saying that because of the U.S. military escorts and because some of these ships go dark going through the Strait, that those numbers of these tracking agencies are not accurate?
Exactly. They're trying the best they can, but almost all of these ships have their AIS, their transponders are off. So they're dark, they're under escort. And it's a different shipping operation than we had before the conflict. But it's 8 or 9 million barrels a day on a running average are going through the Strait. Plus, you've got to add the 6 million barrels a day that are being diverted via pipelines. And those pipelines are being expanded as well.
So the real gap is 5 to 6 million barrels, not the 15 million the doomsday commentators keep repeating. The interviewer kept hammering on the gotcha question. Who controls the Strait right now? And Chris Wright flipped it from the tactical to the strategic.
But their ability to cause difficulties are declining. Our ability to escort and bring products out of that region is growing. They have sort of one card, and it's shrinking in size.
One shrinking card. That's not a choke point anymore. That's what Bessent meant when he forecast the future irrelevancy of the Strait. But the situation on the ground in Hormuz is just one flank in the overall strategy. Economic isolation that Bessent spoke of is the final phase of a strategy that he's been carrying out since March 2025.
And we've been going after, as you said, their bank accounts, crypto wallets, assets around the world, cutting off payments into both the leadership in the regime and the government itself.
So while Treasury was quietly strangling the Iranian regime's economic networks, the U.S. was creating alternatives to the oil coming through the Strait. Alternatives like uncorking our own energy production, like liberating Venezuela from Maduro so it could produce oil and augment U.S. capabilities, like creating a world where other Gulf states could liberate themselves from the status quo. The UAE walked away from the old OPEC quota system and start pumping more on its own terms. Iraq recently negotiated deals with U.S. companies to build pipelines, which will bypass the Strait of Hormuz permanently. That's the same 50 to 70% shift that Bessent flagged, and it's happening inside a 2-year window. Now, that doesn't even touch on the nuclear renaissance that this administration has unleashed. A big part of the empire's reliance on geopolitical choke points like the Strait of Hormuz has been its suppression of nuclear power, keeping the United States and other countries overly dependent on fossil fuels. Well, that anti-nuclear insanity is over, and the coming nuclear boom will vastly strengthen our energy independence. So this is not a question of how many ships cross the Strait of Hormuz today. This is a reassertion of the basic principles of economic sovereignty and of ensuring that your nation is not at the mercy of an imperial overlord which manipulates chokeholds, controls insurance, and throttles your energy production. And this is how you look at what is happening from a strategic mountaintop and cut through the fog of war. That's what Promethean Action does every day, and that's what you will see if you subscribe to our free newsletter. The link is in the description. So, turning the Strait of Hormuz into an irrelevancy is the tactical side of this. But underneath that tactic sits a system built 50 years ago, and that system was put on stage recently. Last month, the British Empire's premier foreign policy outlet, Chatham House, convened a forum entitled The New Geopolitics of the Middle East. I don't think the hosts expected what happened, recorded in front of a live audience. The political advisor to the president of Lebanon, Mr. Jean Aziz, delivered a series of stunning statements speaking for his country right there on the empire's own turf. He began by describing the new potential for his nation. For the first time, he said, in what is perhaps exactly 50 years, Lebanon presents a new situation. Then he named the names of the people who put Lebanon on that 50-year path of destruction, which is finally being reversed. Mr. Aziz described how Henry Kissinger sent his envoy, Dean Brown, to, as Mr. Aziz put it, to manage the beginning of the war in Lebanon in 1976. Now listen carefully to this.
Brown telephoned his secretary only for the letter to tell him, forget about it. I found the solution. I will hand Lebanon to Hafiz al-Assad, and the Israelis are in agreement. And of course, the man was utterly mistaken. In the wake of that episode, Lebanon lived through half a century, since 1976 till now. It's a half a century of wars, battles, and instability, which ended by entangling Syria, Israel, Europe, the States, and above all, the IRGC regime of Tehran in a bloody quagmire.
You really have to let that sink in. Mr. Aziz was there speaking on behalf of the Lebanese government, reading a prepared statement that publicly indicted Henry Kissinger for the destruction of Lebanon and other countries and for the emergence of the IRGC.
Boom.
And he did it at Chatham House, the place where Henry Kissinger himself admitted on the record in 1982 that he kept the British Foreign Office more closely informed than he kept the United States State Department. That's the indictment delivered out loud on their own stage in their own house. And in what world could a Lebanese official do that? A world in which the geopolitical grip of the empire is being broken by Donald Trump. Now, here's what's replacing it. Mr. Aziz was not reading from a geopolitical handbook. He was describing the changing situation on the ground in Lebanon. First, Hezbollah's paymaster, namely the IRGC, has been degraded by both epic and economic fury. And as Mr. Aziz said, the Lebanese leadership no longer has to capitulate. Second, he pointed to the change in Syria, which President Trump has cultivated. And finally, he said there is
a fundamental international change embodied in Western and particularly American attention to Lebanon, on attention at once serious and practical, and one congruent with our reading of the true nature of the crisis and the feasible solutions.
Particularly the Americans, as in Donald Trump's America, which is no longer operating off of the empire's Kissinger-implemented policy. Now, at that same Chatham House conference, the official from Qatar, Majed al-Ansari, dropped another bombshell on the hosts. He made clear that the Gulf states have torn up the playbook as well and are acting in their own interests, as opposed to what he called extra-regional forces. And he did it by describing how the Gaza 20-point peace plan came about.
Gaza is a good example of this. How did we get to the 20-point plan? We got to the 20-point plan because 8 countries from the Arab and Muslim world came together, went to President Trump with a clear plan, put their weight behind it, went to Cairo, went to Sharm el-Sheikh, signed the deal, and are still continuing to work on a resolution. It was not delusional. It was not ambitious. It was very practical. And right now, while we are looking at a very severe humanitarian crisis in Gaza, we are still pushing for a practical, possible solution to the humanitarian crisis over there. We are looking through the lens of countries in the region rather than just waiting for somebody extra-regionally to come in and solve our crisis for us.
That regional deal that he describes, the October plan signed at Sharm el-Sheikh, is what became the Board of Peace, seated in Washington for its first meeting on February 19th, 2026. And who did Donald Trump take a jab at during the founding meeting?
And I said, Steve, how would you like to be Henry Kissinger Jr. that doesn't leak? They said, are you a leaker, Steve? No, he didn't even know what the word meant, and it's true. I always say Henry Kissinger, who was one of the great leakers of all time, by the way, Richard Nixon said to him, Henry, who's leaking all this stuff? I don't know, Mr. President, it was Henry.
A typical, apparently offhand side comment by Donald Trump. But given what Mr. Aziz said about Henry Kissinger at Chatham House, do you think the Lebanese took it as a side comment? Do you think any official whose country and people have been ruined by perpetual war took it as a side comment? No, Donald Trump was telling anyone who listened that the Board of Peace and the people involved in it represent the opposite of the Kissinger model. Kissinger's system treated nations like pieces on a board, moved around, sacrificed, whatever kept the balance of power intact for the men doing the moving. The Board of Peace and the Abraham Accords treat nations like builders, countries with a stake in their own prosperity and not chips in somebody else's game. That indictment at Chatham House wasn't an accident. It represents a new configuration of nations in the Middle East, telling the former game masters that their great game has been shut down, and it's been shut down by Donald Trump. Mr. Aziz didn't describe a policy mistake. He laid out how one man's phone call in 1976 produced 50 years of destruction. And the system that destruction served is now being dismantled. Bessent is cutting the money. Chris Wright is rerouting the energy. The Gulf states are building their own security instead of waiting for permission. And Lebanon just said the quiet part out loud from a stage in London for anybody paying attention. The system is being dismantled. Now, I'm going to close on a personal note. Today is August 15th, 2026. 55 years ago, Richard Nixon took the dollar off the gold reserve standard.
So, guys, what I want to show you here real quick, because this is going very unreported. Ford pickup with nuclear reactor. The nuclear energy that is coming right now and being built up is being built up in record lightning speed. This is this is a story here from Tyler Green. An Australian-designed nuclear reactor has just achieved criticality at Idaho National Laboratory, and the demonstration equipment was transported there in the back of a Ford F-150. The Unity nuclear battery is targeting around 1 megawatt of electricity from a transportable microreactor. Think mines, remote communities, data centers, or industrial work sites. Reliable 24/7 power without thousands of kilometers of new transmission is very attractive. While Australia continues arguing that nuclear is somehow impossible, an Australian is helping develop the technology in the United States. The rest of the world certainly isn't waiting for us. So this was out in Idaho Falls. This happened on July 1st. Deployable Energy Today announced that its demonstration reactor Unity has successfully achieved initial criticality at the National Reactor Innovation Center located at Idaho National Laboratory. The accomplishment marks a major milestone in the development of the company's Unity nuclear battery, which in a record time of roughly 150 days since project kickoff with INL, is the third test reactor to reach criticality, achieving the Trump admin's goal to have three reactors go critical by July 4th and the country's 250th birthday. The test also marks the first criticality under the U.S. Department of Energy's Nuclear Energy Launchpad Initiative. Fam, this is going to change everything, and it's barely getting talked about. Barely getting talked about. People are free. This is why I keep telling people that are freaking out about the data centers, freaking out about the all the electricity, all the water it's going to ruin, all the nature it's going to ruin. I'm telling you guys right now, it's a lot of it is bullshit propaganda. It really is. The fact that we have this much nuclear technology, and thank God we have Trump in office, because you guys think the Dems will be having nuclear energy being pumped as fast as they can right now? Because once they get these reactors up, guys, once the technology is up in record speed, there is no going back. There is no going back to climate change agenda. That shit is dead. It's all dead. And this is why I keep telling people, if you're really paying attention from the 40,000 foot view, you're seeing all these giant moves being made, and people want to focus on bullshit every single day, which we do sometimes, which we definitely do, but we cover it all here. There's so much transformational things that Trump is doing right now that if you don't pay attention every day, you can get lost and just buried in the details of it. But this is all happening. It's all happening right now. Whatever happens with Iran, to me, guys, it does matter to Trump. He's going to make sure they don't have a nuke, obviously. But he's going to make that region and their leverage irrelevant. That's what's happening. And all it is, just like the Iranians think they have Trump on a watch, on a time watch, we just have to wait him out. It's the same fucking game that we're playing with them as well. Oh, you think the midterms are going to be when you think I'm going to pack up and leave because of it's going to hurt us politically? Fuck that and fuck you. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep strangling you. And by then, but maybe in 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, your little strait that you keep doing your terrorist things and bombing ships and causing all kinds of havoc for the last 3-4 decades. Well, guess what? It's irrelevant now. All the oil is bypassed. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Uncorked our own energy, and we have nuclear energy coming up lightning fast speed. Trump's energy pick has so far been stellar. The Department of Energy has been crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. And they set that goal. 3 reactors hitting criticality before America's 250th birthday. They said it was impossible. They fucking did it. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, guys. Let's get into these gold pills, and then we're moving everybody over to pill.net because we need to get into what Hasan Piker said about Candice Owens. It's highly relevant. And then this war on women and the psychosis, fam, that I'm seeing with the modern left. It's Candice Owens' Cole on steroids. It's fucking bad. All right, let's go back here. Thank you. Let's see. Chris loves Daily Cookie. Oriana says, Ozzy came home yesterday feeling much better, so it's a long road to go. Thanks for the prayers. There we go. Answered prayers coming in for Ozzy. That's a great report. Thank you, Oriana. Thank you so much for letting us know about that. That's awesome. I'm so glad he's feeling better. Donnie with the ship says, when USC beat Oregon State 35-3, the headline said, Trojans pound Beavers. I'm sure it was intentional. I'm sure it was. Wink, wink. Lobster Mobster, thank you, brother, with a fleet. There we go. And to a lowrider, throwing down the shades. Thank you, Moon Baby, for the What Up, Family Lamp. And Spaz, throwing down double cans as usual. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Juan Rambo, thank you. Blue Sun Devil, SKG, and Spirit. Thank you for the cookie, guys. We're at 12,017 gold pills. 8K away. 8K away from the 20K goal. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the love over on Rumble, Kick, X, YouTube. Get ready to make the move over to pill.net right now. Thank you, Little Cat, for dropping those links. Thank you all for joining us. As per usual, fam, we have a shit ton more to go. Join us over on pill.net, the only place to catch my entire show exclusive for free on a true Patriot platform with the best chat on the entire internet. We'll see you guys over there. Until then, goodbye, my friends. All right.